Linda, back again with another video. For today's Fabulous Friday video, we are talking all about brushes. This is going to be Makeup Brush 101 with all of the essential brushes that you might need if you're a beginner or just trying to learn how to use certain brushes that you've never tried before. And because I know someone may be curious, I'm going to start by letting you know which brand of brushes that I'm using and where I got them. So first, I'm going to show you some of these white brushes with the rose gold accents. These are all by Magy's Beauty Therapy. This is actually a shop on Instagram. I'm going to link all the information down below. I also have an affiliate code with Magy's Beauty Therapy, so I will leave all the information in the description box below. You can use the code Linda10 for a discount on your purchase. Another brand that I love to use is Wet n Wild. Everyone knows these, the classic white brushes with the pink top. These can usually be found at any drugstore. Most of these I got at the Dollar Tree. Another one of my favorites are e.l.f. brushes. These have the clear handle on them, so these are from e.l.f. Echo Tools also has some great brushes, so these are from Echo Tools. I only have one Ulta brush. It has the gray handle, so one of these is from Ulta. This brush here is by MAC. I will talk about this later on. And this brush here is from Sephora, and the rest of these miscellaneous brushes were all found on Amazon. So let's get into the video and let's talk brushes. So first on the agenda, we're going to talk about face brushes. So here we have different kinds of powder brushes, and we're going to discuss the different purposes for these brushes. So as you can see from the shape, these two brushes here are on an angle, and these two brushes here are rounded. Angled brushes are for contouring, and rounded brushes are for powder. As a general rule for brushes, the fluffier the brush, the more blendable it is, and the denser the brush, the more you will be able to pack on product. So the difference between this brush and this brush, as you can see, this one is a little more dense and this is a little more loose and fluffy. So for this, I would use for bronzer, because bronzer, you don't need such a harsh line. It'll really melt into your skin the easier it is to blend. So you'd want a fluffier brush. For the more dense brush, this is for packing on powder. So if you want to pack on pressed powder, this would be ideal. Same goes for the angled brushes. This looser brush would be great for blending out blush, and this denser brush would be more for packing on a contour. So that's the difference between these two styles of brushes. You want to look at how dense the hairs are, as well as the shape. Next, we're going to talk about concealer and foundation brushes. So this flat top brush is very dense. So this is perfect for packing on and blending foundation. This is a stippling brush that would allow an easy application for foundation. These two brushes here are specifically used for concealer. This brush here is obviously thinner and more densely packed. So this is not for blending. This is for applying under the eyes, in the creases and crevices of your face. This, however, is rounded almost like a sponge. So this is perfect for blending. So this is for application and this is for blending. Moving on to highlight brushes, we have 3 different styles of brushes that I like to alternate between. The only criteria for a perfect highlight brush is to use something that's fluffy. This fan brush is really nice for applying in this motion. Because you're applying in a line motion, it definitely leaves a very bold highlight. This brush also leaves a bold highlight because it's a very precise brush. This is more ideal for highlighting on the nose and the cupid's bow. And this larger fluffy brush is more ideal for a natural highlight. You can dab it on and blend out great with this fluffy brush. You can use it on the temple, you can use it on the chin, and it gives you a nice natural glow. So next, we're gonna talk all about eye brushes. Starting with eyebrows, I definitely think that a good angled brush is necessary for the eyebrow. I personally like brushes that also have the spoolie end, just because it's a 2-in-1 tool. This brush is nice in that it's nice and thin and small, definitely easier for precision application. This one is a little bit on the bigger side, but I like that it is still very thin. So this is also really great for the eyebrows. Size is just a matter of your preference and your level of control. I like to use this big angled brush as well for concealer and cleaning up the bottom of the eyebrow. That is just a preference. Sometimes you can use an angle brush or a concealer brush. Also for cleaning up brows, there are 3 other brushes that I like to use. So first is a concealer brush. This shaped brush is really nice and ideal for actually carving out the top of the brow, not so much the bottom, but it leaves a really nice clean line. This brush here is actually a shadow brush, but because it's so thin, I really find that this is ideal for cleaning up the bottom of my brow. I really like how dense the bristles are, so this is perfect for precision concealer underneath the brows. This is also really ideal for cut creases because it carves out the shape of your cut crease so nicely, and it allows you to really pack on the concealer on the lid. And the last concealer brush is actually not a concealer brush. This is a lip brush. So definitely a multi-purpose brush. I really like this type of brush for applying liquid lipstick if you're a freelance makeup artist, so as not to contaminate your lipstick. This is technically for the lips, but I really like the rounded shape of this and the thinness of this brush. So it's definitely really nice for carving out eyebrows as well. So let's talk transition brushes. So for a transition color, it's ideal to have a very, very fluffy brush. However, there are different kinds of fluffy brushes. So as you can see, this Wet n Wild brush is a lot more dense. The hairs are more packed in, whereas this Magy's brush is very fluffy and the hairs are not as packed. So the different uses that I personally use these for, I would use the more fluffy one for neutral toned eyeshadow. So if you're gonna be doing a smoky eye and your transition color is a nude or a brown or a light yellow or orange, this is definitely a nice transition. But if you're gonna be doing a look that really requires an intense color, I like the densely packed brush because it really packs the color in. So for today, for a nice bright cut crease, I definitely use this brush. If you're gonna be doing a bold look, the dense fluffy brush is ideal for bold, colorful eyeshadow looks. For neutral tones, you're gonna use the nice fluffy one right here. The next brushes I'm gonna show you are for building up transition color. So first, I'm gonna show you my MAC 234. This one is a very dense, fluffy brush as well, but the bristles are more tightly close together than the first transition brush that we used. So this is gonna allow control over your second color. This is gonna apply really nicely in your crease as you build up that transition color, and it blends really nicely into your first color. This next one here is also the same similar shape in that the hairs are closer, but you can see that the hairs are shorter. So this is going to give you a darker appearance because more color is going to apply on the lid. That is really going to apply heavy on the crease. The third brush is an angled brush. So it is shaped differently at the top, but it is shaped the same on the sides in that it has the same amount of hairs that these two have as well. But the angle is going to allow for an accurate, precise application. Angled brushes like this are really nice for drawing in the shape that you like. The next brush I'm gonna show you, you've seen plenty of times on my channel, is the dry brush. So my dry brushing technique is just the clean dry brush that you use in between each eyeshadow color to really blend out your color. The only important thing you need to know about a dry brush is that it has to be clean and fluffy. So this particular shape is rounded from the top and the hairs are super fluffy, and I like the round shape because it really allows for a nice blend. And I really like big brushes as opposed to small brushes because this really gets all over the lid for a very cohesive blend. So the next brushes I'm going to show you are for packing on color onto the lid. So I have here 3 different brushes. First brush I'm going to show you is a rounded but very dense brush, and it is also flat. So this one is really nice for packing on an intense color to your lid after a cut crease. The next brush is also similar for packing on color to the lid, but this one is a little more narrow and not as wide. So this one really allows you to get into the inner corner. And the last brush for packing in color is this one. So this one is different in the sense that the top is flat, but you can see how super skinny, I don't know if you can see. Look at how super thin and skinny that is. So this one is ideal for glitter. So after you apply glue on your lid, you can pack on your glitter by tapping it into your lid. And this is perfect for glitter precision application. The next brushes I'm gonna show you are brushes for intensifying color. So we have these two here, pretty much the same rounded shape. The only difference is that this one is a little more narrow and this one is wider. But the hairs on these brushes are very dense and packed in. So after you've completed most of your eye, you usually like to add a little darker color onto that outer corner or intensifying a little more on top of the cut crease. These are perfect for intensifying color because they are so dense. They really work well for packing on color and intensifying the look at the end. The smaller brush I would use for intensifying the cut crease on top, and the wider brush I would use more for intensifying, you know, dark on the outer corner. So after you finish your look, maybe you want to add some black on the outer corner, that would be this brush. These are very dense, so the colors payoff will be harsh. So it is important to go back with your dry brush and blend out as much as possible to make it look good, because it could just leave you with a very unblended intense color. The next brushes I'm going to show you are pencil brushes. This first one here is actually a little sponge, so it is not a brush, but this is a smudger. So this is really nice for smudging out eyeliner to give you a nice grungy look. So I like to use this on my under eye. After applying eyeliner at the bottom lash line, you can give yourself a really nice smoky under eye with this, and it works really well. Super blendable with a sponge. The next pencil brush is this one. So this one is nice and round in shape, as you can see, super duper dense. This is really ideal for blending out cream eyeshadow sticks. So as soon as you put on an eyeshadow crayon, you can really blend it out with this brush without disrupting the actual crayon color and removing it. This is really good for blending out a cream eyeshadow. Similarly, you can see that this pencil brush is just as dense, but the shape is a lot pointier. So I like to use this for highlighting the inner corner because it gives you a nice intense control over that inner highlight. So this is perfect for highlighting. And the last pencil brush is this really nice tiny pencil brush. This one is also pointy at the end and very dense and round. But this one I like to use for smudging out eyeliner at the top. So after applying a pencil eyeliner or even a liquid or gel eyeliner, this can smoke out that eyeliner into a nice, smoky, sultry, grungy eye look. And you can also dip this into a matte black eyeshadow and really smoke it out onto your lash line with eyeshadow. That works well too. So this is really nice and precise and skinny for a nice smoky liner look on top. And the last two brushes I'm gonna show you are the lip brushes. So I showed you this rounded lip brush in the beginning that you can use for concealer, but like I said, this can also be used on the lips. But I also like to use this for concealer around the mouth. The same way you carve out your eyebrows, you can carve out your lip line to give yourself a really perfect lip line. This lip brush here, as you can see, is different from this one. The hairs of this brush are a lot longer. I like using this type of brush for applying lip glosses and liquid lipstick. As a freelance makeup artist, you have to worry about contaminating your lipsticks, so you can't just put on a lip wand over your client. But if you don't like to use those disposable ones, I really recommend using lip brushes because the long brush really allows for better control when applying lipstick or lip glosses. So that is all for my brushes 101 class. I hope you guys enjoyed this Fabulous Friday video. If you have any recommendations for future Fabulous Friday videos, please let me know in the comments. Maybe there's another 101 class that you want me to teach, let me know. As always, don't forget to share, like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget that Tuesdays are my Budget Babe videos and Fridays are for Fabulous Friday videos. So if you want to be sure not to miss out on any of those, be sure to hit the bell icon so you can get notifications every time I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for joining me for today's video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.